On the third day of creation, God created land. Some parts became desert, barren and desolate, but other parts were blessed with rivers, destined to flourish with civilization. Geography isn't just background scenery in history, it determines urban destiny, and nowhere is this clearer than in ancient Egypt, where the Nile River didn't just support civilization, it created it. In Egypt, the Nile's navigable waters were able to link Egypt's agricultural heartlands to ports and trade routes throughout the world. Such examples are the Sinai and the Red Sea. Other cities were built on rivers as well, with the Mongol capital of Karakorum rising along the Orkhon River. Major cities consistently emerged where waterways enabled mobility and connection, but Egypt offers us the earliest and most documented example of rivers in action. From the time of the Old Kingdom, we learn how Egypt managed the transportation and distribution needed for the monumental building projects like the Great Pyramid. Recent discoveries of the Wadi al-Jarf, a Red Sea harbour, and the discovery of Papyri of Mera, along with it, transformed our understanding of these ancient networks. These show two key points. First, the papyri show that Khufu's pyramid materials were moved along the Nile. And second, the port reveals a much wider water-based network that extended far beyond the Nile itself. Egypt's strength came from mobility, and the Nile was a key source of Egypt's political and economic development. Extensive trade routes to Sudan followed the Nile, with massive revenues coming from the trade with Nubia. By the early 4th dynasty, this system was in full use. Pottery evidence dates the Wadi al-Jarf to the times of 2600 BCE, around the time of the Khufu, the architect of the Great Pyramid. Pierre Tallet led excavations recently that show that this was a key port that extended Egyptian trade just past the Sinai. The scale and volume of trade are astonishing. Egypt was global. The Papyri of Mera logs the worker from the time of the Khufu prove how this network functioned. He describes daily deliveries of food from the Nile Delta along with transportation of limestone to the pyramid site for the building of the Great Pyramid. He says that it took only 4 days to transport these massive blocks to the pyramid site. He's working both on the Nile and at the port, showing their connection. The Nile didn't just connect places, it made urbanization economically viable by solving the fundamental challenge of obtaining goods not available locally. If not for the Wadi al-Jarf, there will be no pyramids. This is not a fluke. Throughout time, navigability and rivers have helped shape societies. With the existence of having strong correlation with urban growth, rivers like the Hudson in New York powered the industrial growth of New York, making it one of the biggest and most powerful port cities in the world. Across millennia, the rule is always the same. Geography is always inevitable. Rivers create urban possibilities, and for Egypt, geography was destiny.